It's Miss Winter, and I'm here today to talk to you about English Honors. This video will give you an overview of the course. English Honors is an online independent study that requires you to do your work solely on your own without relying on online resources, outside sources, or discussion with other students. You will be doing the work in Honors in addition to the work in your other English courses, so you might have some weeks where you're reading two separate novels or writing two separate writing assignments on two separate books. English is online. English Honors is online, which means there is not a classroom component during the day. All of your work will be submitted to Turnitin.com via Canvas, and we will also assess your work that way. So you'll need to log on to Turnitin.com to see how we have evaluated your writing. There is another video that goes into details about how all of that works. Just so you know, Turnitin.com is an online database of papers and academic work submitted to high schools, colleges, and universities throughout the world. That means that they will check the millions of papers that have been submitted to Turnitin.com, but also the World Wide Web and paper mills and other things to make sure that your work is in fact your own. It's important that you keep that in mind because Honors is an independent study. You should not be consulting online resources like Shmoop or SparkNotes. You should not be consulting other students about your work, and you should not share quotes or ideas about your work with other students. Unfortunately, students have done this in the past, and we've had to remove them from English Honors. It doesn't matter if you are the person who is kind of generating the ideas or the person who is copying them. You would run the risk of both being removed from Honors if we catch you engaged in discussion of work with another student. Turnitin.com will generate an originality report that identifies passages, citation, or wording that is the same or distinctly similar. The report provides us with a means to see if your quotes come from online or outside sources. When you have two or three citations or passages that are the same or distinctly similar to other sources, it raises a question of copying work, which is plagiarism. If your work is shared with other students or copied from online or outside sources, you will be removed from Honors and an academic incident report will be on your record. Sharing quotes with another student constitutes plagiarism because it is not your work. If you give a quote or quotes or receive a quote or quotes as part of your process, the work is not solely the product of your own thinking and creativity. Selecting quotes or citation from the text is an integral part of the writing process. The quotes reflect your thinking about the text and in response to the prompt. If you have a reading section that's 100 pages long, the odds of you coming up with exactly the same quotes in the same order as someone else are very, very slim. And so, Mr. Shaw and I would definitely be suspicious of that and may bring you in and talk to you about whether the work is in fact your own. It is common for us to notice that some quotes appear with frequency in students' papers because those are just good quotes. One in common is not a problem. Two or three quotes in common is. So if you have questions, or if we have questions, we will talk to you about what went into writing your submission. The best way to avoid issues related to plagiarism is to abide by the English Honors course policy of doing your own work by yourself without reliance on online or outside resources or other students. To help you do this, you should read closely, annotate, and take notes, and prepare your written submissions on your own. I recommend that you read the prompt in advance, so before you even go into the reading, know, okay, hey, I'm going to be asked to look about this character or pay attention to this theme and its development, so that as you're reading, you can be mindful of that. Keep in mind that if you wait until the night the assignment is due at 10 o'clock, you're probably not going to do your best work. You're not submitting, every week. It's every other week for the most part. So spend time, keep the prompts in mind when you have that week when you're just reading, and I think that will be really helpful. In terms of grading, English Honors is a pass-fail, and so it will not occur, on your report cards or on your transcript until the end of the year. Each assignment is graded on a 5-point scale, and that rubric is available online. There is actually a whole video that goes over issues of the rubric. You must end the year with an above a 3.75 average to get credit. This basically constitutes a 75%. So you need to be, making sure that often you are, exceeding our expectations. Note that no grades will be on your progress reports or your report cards for English Honors. At the end of the year, on completion of all submissions, and if your average is at or above a 3.75, you will receive a 0.5 bump in your GPA, and your transcript will read that you completed either English 2 or English 3 honors, and that 0.5 bump will be calculated in your GPA. You do not receive a letter grade. Again, it is pass-fail. Just keep that in mind. And to pass, it's above that 3.75. So some of you may have been in honors before, have heard about honors and thought it was just pass-fail and that the grades on your individual submissions don't actually matter. That may have been true in the past, but that is not the case anymore. So you really want to aim for 5 out of 5 on the original. If you don't receive a 5 out of 5 on the original, you want to aim for that in the revision. And there are tips that will help you do that in the revision video and also on the paragraph structure video. You can check your average on the gradebook on Canvas. Realize that if you got a 5 out of 5 on the original assignment, you will not receive a grade for the revision. A blank will appear for that column in the gradebook, and that blank will have no bearing on your average. A blank in the gradebook for an original submission would be a problem. That would mean that you didn't submit it. But if it is blank for a revision assignment and you got a 5 out of 5, that is fine. If you're struggling to maintain a 3.75 average, please come and see one of us. You will find a copy of the Honors Course Overview on the class portal on Canvas, and specific details contained in this keynote are also found in the course overview. The author for this video is Truman Capote. Thank you very much.